Hello, this is Richard at Expedition Tracking. I've set up a live demonstration of an event to show you exactly how our tracking system works. Let's jump straight into this demo. I've set up an event called the 10 Tours Practice, which is based on a popular military event which takes place down in Dartmoor, and lots of schools and local groups take part in the event, which is down in the Dartmoor area. So for this event, what I've done is I've added a approximate route. It's entirely optional to add routes and checkpoints, but in this case, just to illustrate some of the features, I've added this, which is a GPX file. So this mustard colored line, I've simply uploaded this, and you're able to do that yourself if you wish, or we can do that for you. I've also added some of the tours, so High Belays, Kitty Tour, etc. All of these little red dots are checkpoints. Okay, I've also added 5 tracking devices to this map as well, and hopefully you can see some of these moving around the map at the moment. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I've set up one called 99. Let's have a look at some of the features. First of all, let's have a look at the top corner here. There's a key. So what do the colors of these flags mean? Green is their current location. If they were to turn to orange, it means they're not moving. Grey, it means they've not sent a report recently, and if they are black, they've been powered off, and if they go red, they've sent an SOS message. Next, we've got the participant list. So you can see I've set up groups 1, 2, 3, 4, and I've set up a tracker called Supervisor, which is 99. As I hover over these, you should see hopefully a little white line outlining each of those trackers as I roll between them. So before I go into a few more of the advanced features, hopefully what you can see is the trackers gradually moving around the map. Now I'm using a speeded up demonstration here just to show you how the trackers move, but usually of course they wouldn't be moving quite this quickly. I've set these to be moving substantially faster than walking pace. So let's have a look first of all at the more basic features. So the mapping system in the top right corner, we've got a choice of quite a lot of different map types here. We've got Google Maps. If I click on Google Maps, you can see the familiar Google mapping interface. You can change it over to Google Satellite Maps, and you can zoom in and out and use all of the typical features you would expect on a Google map, including dragging the little person on there to view a street view location. We've also then got the Mapbox style of maps, which are very quick and very popular. We've also got a light version, a dark version, and we've also got a street view of Mapbox. We've got OpenStreetMap, which is the open source mapping type. That does show some of the footpaths that you can see on there and quite a lot of the tours. But more finally and more popular, we've got the Ordnance Survey stack, and most people are going to be using the Ordnance Survey Leisure stack. So here you can see it's automatically jumped into the 1 in 50 scale. If I was to zoom out, you can see it rolls out of the layers, and as I go back in, it automatically changes it from a 1 in 250 to 1 in 100, 1 in 50,000, and finally if I zoom in one more time, you can see it has now changed to be a 1 in 25,000 scale Ordnance Survey map. So let's have a move along to where we can see some more of those trackers here at the moment. If I highlight one of these trackers, first of all, let's take a look at one of these. You can see the arrow indicates the direction that the tracker is moving in, and that's quite handy to know, so you can see that the trackers are heading hopefully in the direction that they have planned to go in. If you could click on any of those trackers, it will show quite a lot of information. So it will show the time of the last report, 12:22 in this case, the tracker number. It will also show the grid reference as well as the long and latitude. It shows the speed it's currently moving at, and the average speed overall. It'll show the distance covered and the average speed. So this has covered 15 kilometers and it's moving at 40 kilometers per hour. As I explained, I've set a simulator running here, so it's going a lot faster than walking pace, just so we can give you a realistic demo and show you the features. It shows the elevation the trackers are at, 583 meters, and also the current battery level of those trackers. It shows the last checkpoint that we reached. So it says that we've reached Great Niset at 12:20, and we're due to reach Sittaford Tor at 12:28. And there we go, there's Sittaford Tor down there. So in 5 minutes time, we'll expect the tracker to reach that point. And it goes on to show the estimated times of arrival to all of those other checkpoints that you can see here as well. So it's very useful for predicting what time your groups will be at a certain checkpoint. Okay, let me zoom out. Now we can see, of course, all 4 of those trackers there and how they're all progressing. I've set them all to move at slightly different speeds. As you can see, this one is lagging a little further behind the others. This one's showing a speed of only 25 kilometers per hour versus the 40 kilometers per hour that the other one was moving at. You can also see a different battery level, a different elevation, of course, and that it is at a different grid reference. Now, another interesting feature on here is that you can click on this participant bar, and if I was to choose participant number 1, click on this magnifying glass. Note that the line at the moment is a mustard color. That shows the pre-planned route. If I click on the magnifying glass, a black line appears, and that black line shows the actual route that the tracker took. So you can see here that's very, very slightly different than the pre-planned route, which you would expect. It's never going to be quite exact. There are a couple of other features on here. You can download that breadcrumb trail that the tracker has recorded as a GPX file or a KML. Another very interesting and useful feature here is this Google Maps icon. If I was to click on this right now, it will launch Google Maps, and that would be perhaps from the mobile phone that I was holding or from the computer you were using, and it would plot a route from your location to that tracker, and that could be used in the event that you needed to go and intercept or meet a lost or injured participant or group. So it would navigate you there either using a walking route or a car route, whichever would be most appropriate. Another interesting feature is the playback. So if I was to, let me scroll back out again just to illustrate this a little better. Right, let me scroll right the way back out. Okay, so if you can see here at the bottom of the screen, there is a time there that says 12:09 and a little slider across it. And hopefully up there you can see a little white circle. As I slide this across, you'll hopefully see where this tracker was at any given time. So when I slide it across to here, for example, it shows at 12:16 that this is the location I was at. So you can almost play back the group's location and see where they were at a particular time. Moving on, we've also got what we refer to as a leaderboard page, which is useful in a leaderboard terms for a race type feature, but it's also useful for expeditions, so you can see at a glance what time each of your groups got to the checkpoints. So if I click on this, you'll first of all see all of the names of the groups listed here, which is groups 1, 2, 3, 4, and a supervisor, and it will show the distance they're currently at on the route, the time the trackers last sent a signal, how many kilometers they have traveled so far, and then this here is a time that they reached each of those checkpoints. So you can see there that they reached the first checkpoint at 12:11, 12:13, 12:15, 12:18, and also the ETAs, those estimated times of arrival for all future checkpoints as well as the finish. So you can see that the first participant is due to reach the finish at 12:40 based on their current average speed, and likewise you can see the later ones here arriving at 12:43, 12:46, and 1:15. You can also see the battery level details. We've got some green lights here which show the battery levels and also the status of the trackers, if they are moving, not moving as well. So that's what those 2 lights are for there. You're able to show the information in elapsed time or clock time. What I mean by that is, let's say you started at 8 o'clock and this person finished at 12 o'clock. you would normally see 12 o'clock in there, but if you change this to elapsed time, then that would change that to show 4 hours for the completed time. So you can change between that. You can also download this information into a spreadsheet. So it exports it as a comma separated value file, which will open up in Excel. So you could export all of this information out into your spreadsheet. Finally, there is also that same little Google icon here. So this will navigate you from wherever you are to each of those individual checkpoint locations, or indeed the finish or the start location or a campsite or whatever you have set to. So that's very useful for getting you or a supervisor accurately and quickly through to the one of those checkpoints or a campsite if you needed to get them to there as well. Okay, let's step back onto the map, and let me just change it to perhaps the outdoor map again. There we go. So I've also got a supervisor here, so I've added a supervisor as a stationary location. So not all groups give trackers to their supervisors, but should you wish, you can of course do that, and your supervisors would then be shown on the same map as your GPS trackers or your groups as well. So it's easy for a expedition coordinator to see where all of the resources are in relation to your expedition groups. Okay, I think that's more or less all that I have to show you today. If you have any questions, please get in contact. We'll be more than happy to show you a live demo of our tracking system, or let you have a look at some demonstration units so you can decide for yourself. We certainly believe we have got the best Duke of Edinburgh Awards tracking system available in the UK by some margin. We don't think any of our participants come close, and we're certainly the best on price. And of course, we both hire and sell our GPS trackers too. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to assisting you with your tracking in the near future.